Well, this is actually the worst part of the hull that we found, all the actual inner planks. So I think if the rest of the boat was like this, the boat would have definitely been scrapped, wouldn't it? Don't quite know how we're going to approach this yet, because it's going to be a bit of a task, isn't it? So the thing we need to be careful of is where the waterline is. We sort of predicts where the exhaust is, and we know that much roughly below the exhaust is the waterline, but it'd be nice to actually measure, go here's the waterline, just so if we can't get it back in one tide, to not go too far.
I'm going to predict the waterline's here.
Okay.
And all the rot is above the waterline.
Yeah.
Because, as is the case through the boat, below the waterline's great.
Yeah.
You're getting your wellies on then?
I've got to get my wellies on. So how are we going to measure it? Sorry.
Could we measure from the bottom of like the exhaust bolts or something?
So I kind of know how we're going to measure it.
Oh, well, don't quiz me then. Right, so we've got a string line with a bit of weight on. So Simon's going to drop it from a point on the window, get down to the waterline, and then we can put a little mark on here to know where it goes to.
Hello. Come on. Let's bring the posh camera outside.
Don't drop it in the mud.
Right, so Gemma's now put a string from the window there. Have you got a pen handy?
Yeah.
Got a pen handy. Right, we're going to go to the waterline. So, up a bit. Let's stop there. Down a little bit. Up 10. Yeah, about there. Right, so I think that is pretty much on our waterline. So Gemma's now marking at the window. Right, so now Gemma's putting now 2 marks on there. So now when we reverse it, we can line up the 2 marks, then it'll give us our drop inside, won't it, roughly? Right, so the actual planks outside, apart from flaky paint, don't look too bad.
Can you see like behind the exhaust?
No, you can't see behind the exhaust, but I think this is where the problem's come from, because all the water's just got trapped along here, and then the water's gone into the hull. Right, so a bit rough and ready this, but I'm now eyeballing the little mark, so that's pretty much where the scribed waterline is. We float a bit higher than that, if that makes sense. So I think Gemma's prediction was... Which one did you predict?
I predicted the top one.
Okay. So there's our waterline, alright, so...
Okay, so just above the bottom stringer.
Yeah, so we know we don't really go below the bottom stringer, then if we have to leave it open, we'll be fine.
So is it just time just to... At least it all should come apart quite easily. Definitely enough fixings in every frame, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah. They did not want these boats to fall apart.
So we're getting there. Majority of the frames are out. We're going to leave the beam shelf in for as long as we can, just for structure. So now we're going to get that frame out. And then we're going to start looking at planks.
Something I've just realised. I left the window open.
Oh.
I have to come down here for the camera.
Sorry.
I left the window open. That's not good, is it?
No.
Middle of winter.
Right.
So we haven't quite got an update for you yet because we're still like little brains puzzling. What would you do at this point? Ideally, we'd change the whole plank down. Kind of a bit shy on material as well, so trying to ration. But on the other hand, we've got a really good frame here, so we could treat this as two separate areas that are problem areas. I don't know. We'll figure out and I'll let you know. My road removal tool.
I'm leaving because they're flying everywhere. Just got one down my boot.
So now we've got all the roves off, and I've got to go at it with a multi-tool. But we don't want to cut all the way through the boat, we only want to cut through the inner planks. So we put some tape on it to stop us going all the way through. But I've got another face there.
No one cares about your second
I'm not
face.
like that, I don't really care, I don't really get spots and stuff. It's just feels like I've got something wrong with me.
It's a nightmare trying to get the planks out because they're just littered with copper nails.
You always find the one you missed, don't you? See it there.
Ah, yeah. So this is another long process. It's definitely the worst area, isn't it, that we've sort of seen planking wise.
It's not good.
Can anybody spot any problems yet? It's definitely the biggest section of boats we've ever like totally ripped apart, isn't it?
Yeah, I think early days we wouldn't have taken this much out. We've got the confidence now, haven't we? So
Well,
we know that you have to go big.
we did have the confidence until I can physically touch my exhaust outside.
Right, so we've obviously cleared that one there that Jim has just done some prep on. We'll talk about that properly later, the strategy. Have you already spoke about it?
No, not really.
Right, so I've now done my cut, so these ones can come out now.
It's a lot of exposed outer hull, innit?
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, you can tap on that bit.
Yeah.
Just don't tap on that bit or that bit.
See, the sort of bodger in me is saying that we should, like, feather it out and glue bits back into it. But then someone's saying to do it right, we need to, like, take the plank off. But it's peeing down at the moment, so I'm not going outside, so...
We've also got another problem.
Yeah.
We haven't got any plank material left.
Well, we've got very minimal.
Not to do... We were expecting a plank or two, not like all the sides of the boat.
But we've got loads of Iroko, but we haven't got anything to cut it. To cut, because these are like 130mm wide, so our saw will only cut 80mm. The other one in the workshop, so we might be able to send it through, flip it over, send it through, and then do a lot of planing. I don't know. There is that option, but you made some calls, haven't you? See if we can find new planks.
Yes.
So we'll see if that comes through.
So for now, I'll just keep stripping it out.
Yeah, and I've just realised I've not actually cut that one there.
Look at him, Mr. Safety.
It's like noisy and vibrating. It's like I was thinking about the vibrations off this thing. I was thinking, I wonder if there's any worse jobs with like more bad vibes than this. Then I realised probably the returns counter at Ann Summers.
But on a good note, have you seen how far we are to the actual back of the boat now? It's literally that. Well, you know, on that side. But we can actually see the back. So we're getting there.
There's light at the end of the boat.
There literally is. There. Oh dear, found a soft spot. Right then, so we are all stripped off. We've done 3 planks there. 1, 2, 3, about 4 there if I can count. It's not looking good.
So they're not too bad here. There's a few little areas. This is basically where the exhaust is, so it's rotten over time and so. But I think we're going to fill these. So we're going to put some special epoxy in it and make that go away. So we don't have to do any of the outer planks because they're going to be a pain in the bum.
Because they're not rotten. You know what I mean? The planks are actually solid, but we've just got some random bits here and there.
Yeah. So that's fine.
Easily sorted.
Easily sorted. Here we've got some bigger problems. So this is not very happy plank. Look, it's just coming out. So we're going to have to change this plank. This is obviously an outer plank, but we're working from the inside at the moment. We're not quite set on the idea on how we're going to do it yet, but I think this is the only time we can really do it because the exhaust is here. So we're going to have to like cut it and slip it in, flex it around. I don't know, it's going to be a bit awkward, but we need to go outside and it's bucketing it down at the moment and it's giving us quite a bit of rain for the next week, so only Jim.
Yeah. So I think we need to do this one, definitely this one because that is the exhaust I can touch.
Yeah.
This one's not looking the best, and there's a little, but I think before we can work out how far we need to go with these planks, we need to take the next 4 out because like here you think, oh well, it's that needs to come out, but we could cut it there and just replace that bit. But if the top of it is rotten as well, we'll have to replace the top, won't we?
Yes. But to do that, we need to take all them out. We don't really want to take too much out of the boat. And also, what we need to do is go and get a big stock of plank material because I don't even think we've got enough to do this at the moment. So we need to go and figure that out.
So I think for now, let's get some epoxy in the areas that we're going to keep. Cleans up lovely that, hasn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a coat of thinned epoxy. See, it's not even rotten, is it? You know what I mean? Thickener.
We need some more.
Yes. Don't want it to run down the hole, do we? Better to put too little in than too much.
Yeah.
No one will ever know. That'll do, won't it? So we need to go and sort out wood And also we need loads of frame material too. Which we've got the frame material, but we haven't got the plank material, so we need to go and have a few phone calls with some suppliers. But in the meantime, instead of looking at crusty, rotten old boats, would you like to come with us to Boot Dusseldorf? I kind of wish we would have booked a seat at the back of the plane.
Why?
Because planes don't reverse into mountains, do they?
Right, so it's going to be a bit bumpy this, because our power point is like 50-60 mile an hour gusts, so I've never been on a plane where it's been a bit wobbly, so this is going to be exciting, I think.
Yeah.
Nah, that's too bad. Oh yeah, go a bit of a bump there. The old eventful, that, wasn't it? I was expecting it to be worse. Never mind, I was only filming in case like air crash investigation, like find this. Might do a video on us. Anybody watch air crash investigation? It's great, isn't it? Right, so we're in the posh section. Just landed. Hole number 1. Very expensive boats.
Strange seeing big boats not covered in mud.
Can't even see the copper nails, can you?
I'm still trying to convince Simon to let me have a slide on the poop deck of Sarinda.
No, it needs to be twice as big as that, so it would come from the flybridge, wouldn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it was made of plastic. What's it called? UPMD?
HDPE.
HDPE. I was getting confused, but it looks like Ali, but it's brilliant.
You're practicing your driving?
Yeah. You're messing around with these and shout out. We're off this little camera here.
Have you decided what equipment we're going to be having in Sarinda yet?
From my experience, I think it's going to be Raymarine. Raymarine is quite good. But what we need is some massive screens. Like that one there. So found a 60-inch screen. I've literally just found the radar. I've never even used radar my whole life. This is just some simulated data, but I think we need radar. So going in or out. Oh, there you go. Right, you can zoom right in.
This is the DMS all-in-one. It's fitted on the transom of the boat. Now it's stowed, and you can use it as a trim tab.
Ah.
Wow! So you're going fast and you use it as a trim tab. At cruise speed, the fin comes out of the vessel, so it's installed on the transom. And then it works just like a normal fin. But it's 2 axes, so we have 1 axis here, 1 axis here. With this axis, we can stabilize the boat like this, at anchor. And there's much more capacity to stabilize than with a normal fin doing this.
I've never seen them like that before. That's pretty
They're
cool.
completely brand new. We call it the DMS all-in-one. Nowadays you have for a 20 meter, you have like a gyro, a fin and a trim tab. And this is all in one.
It's all in one job, yeah.
All the three things in one system. Fully electric with an electric.
And it's quiet as well.
It's quiet, yeah. We have the gyro as well. Yeah, you can probably hear it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is like electric, low electrical consumption.
Yeah.
For the fin, small surface, highest damping. So a less wet surface, higher damping than all the other brands.
Okay. Alright, so on Sarinda we've got the Maxifins. All the actual controls are very, very old, 80s technology. It's a proper like mechanical gyro. But you can now get an aftermarket that you can use to control the original, so that might be something we can do down the line.
So many amazing boats here at Boot, but none that we would ever swap Sarinda for. Thank you all for watching. See you next week.